Welcome to the Wisdom Lounge.
Welcome to the Wisdom Lounge.
Doing it on purpose. Keep doing it on purpose. Gotta know what you're worth is. Gotta know what you're worth is. Love the song, yeah, I survive. Walk with purpose in my life. Do it on purpose. Doing it on purpose. Gotta know what you're worth is. Gotta know what you're worth is. My life is picture perfect. The pain was worth it. Keep doing it on purpose.
You shall live, not die. We are back. We are back. We are back. I know we've been gone for a minute, but we are back here at the Wisdom Lounge. So welcome back. Welcome, everyone.
Yes.
And we just want to just dive in today. Our topic, as we promised, we were going to get a little bit more in depth in some issues and some things. So today our title is Bloodline and Baggage. Who knows if you've ever heard anybody talk about the generational curses, the generational, the iniquities.
That's what the church will say.
Iniquities and just all those things that you don't always realize that you're carrying around.
That's it.
And sometimes you think it started with you, but you'll be so surprised to know it didn't. It may not have started with you, but it can definitely end with you.
Absolutely.
So we're going to talk about that today on the Wisdom Lounge. I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to introduce myself for those who are new to the channel.
Welcome.
And just say, hey, girl, hey, guy, hey. To those who are already familiar with us, my name is Angela, Angela Wheatley. I'm a certified recovery coach. I'm a life coach, an ordained minister, and pastor. I am also a published author. And I am all things helping people. And then when I was on this journey of all things helping people, I learned I'm helping myself too.
There you go.
Come on.
Love
Physician, heal thyself.
Listen,
Hello.
love a good return.
So it is awesome that I'm also growing and becoming as I am also doing this healing work. So today, again, I said we're going to talk about the bloodline and baggage. But before we move on, Dawn, you take a minute to do the same. Introduce yourself to our audience, those who are familiar with us and those who are new.
Well, welcome. We welcome you. So I am Don Cutler, DIS certified leadership trainer, ordained as a pastor and a life coach, and partner with the Wisdom Lounge.
Awesome.
Yes, where we have a good time.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So today, as I promised, we're going to just dig on in there. And as we talk about it, you can start to look at some things. You know what? This has been going down my bloodline, and I needed to stop right now.
Absolutely.
I needed to stop right here today with me. And so you have that opportunity. Just like there are so many things I can look back in my family lineage. Some things I thought it was just me. Like, I'm the only one dealing with this. But I remember taking this course. I forgot the name of it. I know it dealt with the bloodlines. I forgot the original name. I took it under Apostle Puku, and I took it several other times before in different ways. And then she did like 12. It was 12 weeks intensive course.
Nice.
And we went down the bloodline and I mean dealt with
That's a great
whole
resource.
bunch of did a whole. I took awesome notes, which y'all know I love
You
taking
love
notes.
taking some notes.
I took awesome notes, and she was like, y'all need to go and teach this to your family. But even before she said that, I was like, I need my family to, we got to go through this. So I put this call out to everybody, like, look, we need to deal with some stuff.
Absolutely.
And so when I put the back call out to everybody, well, the funny thing was only the newer generation, the generation behind me, responded to the back call.
Yeah, them other
the
ones.
older people in the family, it was crickets.
It's a strong resistance.
Yeah, nobody responded. But it was, and at first I was a little discouraged.
Yeah, of course.
But then when I got on the line, I didn't not, because at first I was like, well, maybe I'm not gonna worry about it, blah, blah, blah. They don't care, I don't care. But then I moved forward, and God showed me on that line, they went through that 12 weeks with me. I went through 12 weeks and I learned. Then I went through another 12 weeks with them, and we learned. I saw the next generation, they're being able to break curses. But in that conversation, some of the younger ones that was on the line, they was like, wow, really? I was like, no, your grandma had that issue too.
Right.
Or this person had that issue. There's like Gramps, because by the time they know grandma, then they know grandma in a different light. They didn't know her in her years of struggle.
Right.
They didn't know her before salvation.
Right.
Well, we did.
Yeah.
And so when I was able to share some things that they struggle with, it was like, Gramps? And I was like, yeah. And then me. And then they had to, I start to see chains break because they thought it was something that they were, it was just, this thing just hit me.
Yeah, that's a great point that
Yeah.
you bring up, because a lot of times we don't think that it is generational. And the older generations than us, they were taught, keep your mouth shut, don't say
Yes.
nothing, keep your head down. But look at all of the things, when we are the patterns
Yes.
in family lines. And that pattern had to originate from somewhere. Right? And so when it originated from that place, I think the great thing about looking, sometimes is it hard to dig into, can be, depending on how the conversations are, but it's worth it for your next generation not to have to suffer at another level, whoever birthed this.
Exactly.
Right? And I think that helps them to say, okay, I'm not crazy. I'm not, because sometimes you be thinking you crazy.
It's just you.
You
yeah.
think it's just you.
You think you're the
right?
only one in the family or only one that's dealing with this because it hasn't been discussed, like you said.
Right.
Because I know, like, my mom was pretty open with sharing things, but there's a lot of things that they just didn't talk about. Like, you're not going to hear them talk about their pain, their frustration. We just learn to keep it moving.
Right. And that's evidence by the generation they grew up with. Slavery, they better not say nothing back.
Exactly.
They'll die.
Exactly.
Nobody want to leave their kids and see your child
Yes.
get hung.
Yes.
So that fear tactic alone is still spreading on. So if that tactic can spread along, guess what? Our faith tactics to get it right can make it go deeper.
Exactly. So that's why. But until you recognize it, then your faith tactics can be shallow, watered down, can be a bunch of cliches.
Absolutely.
Because you haven't acknowledged what's the root of it. And so that class really allowed my family for us to just really tap into some stuff. And so from that point on, I started hosting what I call tune-ups.
Yeah,
because
love
you'll
it.
get your
You'll
car
get
to get
tune-up.
to. Yep, you get your car tuned up. You get everything else checked on and worked on. And we think deliverance is like a one and done.
It's not.
And sometimes you just got to go in there and so once a year we have it. It may not be a 12-week intensive, but we go through it 3 to 4 times. Like I've cut it down to like 4 weeks now, where we are taking our time. We're going through it and then just kind of getting rid of some things that the enemy has kind of brought in our life, or even our own bad choices.
Correct.
But so take a moment, look at these patterns. What's happening? So I call it our little tune-up, our family tune-up time.
That's good. I like that.
And then just kind of checking the pulse of the family.
It makes me think about every so many miles you get on your car, you're supposed to rotate them tires. Because what happens on the tires, right? 4 tires.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody's carrying the pressure harder than the other. So you got to rotate it.
Yes.
Because sometimes you can't stay on that pressure person that
Exactly.
long because they ain't built for that yet.
Exactly.
But as you keep doing the rotation,
Yes.
everybody will be like, aha.
Exactly. And I'm glad you said it. That is a great analogy, a great point, because I know when my mom passed away, that was the first thing the grands told me. The grands said, well, Gramps gone, so I guess now you're my person. Like, no, we about to teach you.
Right.
So these
Full
classes.
adults.
Exactly. But
That's good,
but it was a moment to teach them, no, you got to learn the war too.
Right.
You got to learn to rely on him too.
you got
Because what was in mama, yes, she taught me, but now I'm going to teach you how to fight.
That's it.
Because she taught me how to fight. But as grandchildren, she did a lot of work for the grands.
Yeah.
She going to
Oh,
go
of
into
course.
war for the
Of course.
grands.
Right.
And it was like, no, the grands got to learn to
How to
war.
stand in
Yeah.
war.
And how to stand. So
I love it.
So this is the topic today, guys.
Yeah.
We are talking about bloodline and baggage.
Baggage.
Man, because I know there's some baggage that I carried around in a Samsonite suitcase. Like it just like you come. This suitcase is sturdy. It could take some more.
That's when
it could
OJ
take
was
some
running through the
yeah.
airport.
Oh, we loved us some OJ. Well, I didn't really know it.
I
didn't really know
wasn't
him, but I
into
just
all
remember that
of it.
commercial.
Yeah,
I
the
do.
commercial with him
I do
going through,
remember that
jumping over
commercial.
the stuff.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so let's just dive in there.
Okay.
When we say bloodlines and baggage, we're talking about the stuff that is passed down.
Correct.
Those things that are constantly passed down. I remember in my psychology class, we talked about culture. And culture is those things that can be passed down.
That's right.
Because I've always heard people say, Black people don't have culture. You have culture. Like they will say, I've heard people say the foundational Black Americans, we don't have culture because it doesn't look like those from Africa.
Gotcha.
But everyone
Everybody
has
got
a
culture.
It may not look like what you guys do who are
Might be
originally from a certain place, but you're passing something down. So when I took that course, I was like, what am I passing down to my children? Like that was very, I know that they know, okay, mom is a Christian, but what are some stern points that I'm passing down to them? And not just those generational curses, but what about those generational blessings
Blessings, too.
that they need to be made known of? So in that, as we learn about the bloodline, we also as we learn about the bloodline and the baggage, then we want to talk about the bloodline and the blessings.
That's right.
So, I started to make sure that we had a balance in that and not just see all of the curses and all of the generational things that can happen that can go wrong, but also look at the generational things that have happened for our family that has been amazing. That we know it was nobody but God.
Right.
And so we try to make sure those things are highlighted.
Exactly.
So when you talk about bloodlines, sometimes these things can happen in our lives and it's without permission. Oftentimes it happens when you're most vulnerable, when you're young. That's when the enemy can come in. Yeah, that innocence. That's when the enemy can come in.
Absolutely.
So go ahead and share.
So in that innocence, sometimes you may think when you're that age, whatever that age is for you, that you know it and you big and bad, but what you also have to know in fighting these or tracking out a new path for generations after you to come is that the enemy ain't gonna want you to do that real good.
Yeah.
So he's gonna throw stuff in their mind to track them. So, like you said, I think you gotta assess. You got to have the real conversation with yourself first and determine where you are. Because if you know no good, if you're not any good at communicating well, then you can be causing negative generational patterns to cease. To continue. So all of those things are key and those are important. But the deal is you got to do the work. You got to do the work. It won't just pop up.
No.
You have to do the work. You have to take the time. You have to be real. And if you're the person that's helping others facilitate this, you need to be mindful of what triggers that they do have.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because these are not easy conversations all the time.
No, they're not.
Right?
They're not.
Sometimes, you put a person in a place where this is what happened. You say what happened to them in a way that they can hear it and understand it. And then you ask for their feedback, and it may be some clashes on how you see it.
Yeah.
That's a key phrase or a key process that I've noticed that happens when you're dealing with generational things. They'll get there. Well, no, I didn't do this. The water was blue instead of gray.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's a what do you call it? A sidetracking. That's getting you off track.
Yeah.
Which you got to know that's the scheme of the enemy to do it. So everybody that's involved in that process has to have, okay, this is how we gonna do this.
Yeah.
This is what we're gonna agree to do.
Yeah.
If you're getting hot about something and you need a break, put your hand up or something. But just don't let it stew.
Yes.
We may not deal with it today, but we'll give everybody the time what they need and then come back. What I've seen a lot of families do, we're going to do this now. We're going to lock ourselves in a room till we get this all done.
And it does not work.
And it does not. It makes it worse.
It makes it worse.
Because nobody wants to talk to nobody now because
Exactly.
there's no safety
Exactly.
involved in it.
Yeah.
So that would be my number one thing to tell a person right away. Are you ready?
Yeah.
for the difficult conversations, because just like you got negatives about other people got negatives about you. And it may,
And that'd be the shocker for the person who have all the negatives.
correct.
Why are you shocked that people do have negatives about you?
Right.
You're flabbergasted and pulling on your pearls.
Right.
But you have sat here and
Exactly.
created a whole list of everything else that you've observed in
Easy,
everyone
no
else.
problem. Can write it down.
And just I'm like,
They don't like looking at themselves,
Yeah.
which that's a challenge
Yeah.
in any communication. If you got to be the one always right, you got to be the one always talking.
Yeah.
There should be a time where you're just sitting back listening. There are times when I'll say, I'll have thoughts in my mind if I'm in a conversation with somebody. Even you and I, we both do it. Sometimes we'll just go quiet. We'll be like, "You okay? Yeah, I'm just thinking about something." Or yeah, but you give yourself that minute.
yeah, I have to have that moment because and like you said, being self-aware, being able to read the room, because when people push me to talk, then that's when things get said that should not be said.
Right, because you're tired.
Yeah.
And they're not respecting
Exactly.
your space. That's
Exactly.
the bottom line.
And at that time, it's like I want to be conscious of what I say to people.
Right.
Back in the day, yeah, I could have cared less.
Oh, yeah. You can
what
say
I said.
anything.
Yeah. But as you mature, then no, just
It's not
give
beneficial.
me a beat. Yeah, give me a beat. Let me calm myself down,
Correct.
and then let's talk.
Exactly.
But I've been in situations where people don't allow you to take a moment to breathe, and then
keep
feelings are hurt
shooting at you.
when like it's not a time to talk.
Yeah.
So those are, like you said, those are some things, because I've been in those situations as well when it comes to bloodline issues that pass down. Because one of the things that I can say, the yelling is one of the things that
I can't take it. But those
Yeah.
are the guidelines.
yeah.
So you have
No,
to
no. That's one of the things that have been passed down.
Oh, yelling.
For us. Yeah. Like, I don't know the last time I've got loud. But I know that I can get loud.
You got loud at Bear.
Oh, that don't count. That's Bear. That's
a
Bear.
bloodline.
Bear needs to be loud. That's my dog.
That's our dog.
Because he don't listen. But to yell at someone, I don't know the last time that I've done it. But I know that it is something that was passed down. Because, and then when I see Kira, well, for the most part, she's really, really quiet. But when she when she black out, she yells. And then she yells at Bear and Bella. And I was like, oh my God, it's passed down. Because I yelled at them as children. And my mom yelled at me, yelled at all three of her kids. And then I watched Kira and I was like, Kira, you gotta, like, I want you to kind of work on that.
Yes.
Because when you do have children, I really would, I like to see that curse is broken. Because it wasn't broken with me because I yelled at them.
Yeah.
And
That's how my Jessica can get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wasn't a yeller. Her favorite aunt was a yeller. She was worse than Medea. I think they took the prototype from her. And seriously, she didn't care how old you were. She gonna yell.
yeah.
So, yeah, Jessica kind of grew up with that. I'm like, Jessica, you can't do life well coming from that vein. That's not going to serve you well.
Exactly.
And I always say, think about the person that you respect the most.
Mm-hmm.
The most. If you can sit in a room with them and they can tell you hard topics, you can do it.
Yeah,
Because, people like to say,
control.
that's just how I am. That's how you choose
to be. Because, like you said, if you can be in certain spaces and still control your temper and have restraint,
That's it.
then you can do it in other situations.
Absolutely.
And I had to. And one of the things that that I had to learn was adults. Like you can get away with that behavior as a child,
Not- yeah.
but as an adult, it looks crazy.
You look like the fool. I don't
Yes,
care what you
exactly.
are explaining or trying
And
to
when
talk
I
about.
saw that
Yeah.
for myself, I was like, girl, you better get yourself together. Because now you are an adult. That
Right.
you basically, and it's like God gave me this visual.
Mm-hmm.
You literally look like a petulant 5-year-old throwing a tantrum in the middle of a grocery store.
Absolutely.
So yelling at someone, that was one of the issues that I know I do not want. I pray that my children break that curse.
Right.
Because now you have to learn how to have conversations.
Right.
And so that was one of the things that I definitely saw. So for me, and one of the other heaviest narratives that I'll say that I saw that I would like to have broken is, and I think now I have, because I've reframed my thought process. Now I won't know until I actually get into, I guess, a relationship.
Oh, it's coming.
I think I passed.
Yeah, man.
I think I did in my mind and my heart. I think I did.
Okay.
But one of the narratives is, for the most part, I am changing. I don't feel like I have to hold everything together.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't think
and
I
I
have.
think for sorry.
No, go
I
ahead.
think
Go ahead.
for our generation, that's what we were taught. This is what you do. You do this, 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 you
Yeah.
do this. All this for other people.
Yes.
Now when it's you shoot, you're so tired you don't want to do nothing.
I don't.
You know, you don't want to do nothing.
And so that's one of the things. Now, Kira didn't get that from, she was like, you can have that to yourself. I ain't picking that up.
Yeah.
I
can see
now
that.
my son is a little bit like that, where he is the rescuer.
Yeah.
But I think he's getting a healthier balance. So I'm kind of seeing that narrative change in our bloodline. But that was one of the things that not being vulnerable before people, that I'm still working on that. That's hard for me, because I've had that used against me. So, but yeah, working on that is something that I can say definitely want to be able to see those things change with my children, that my grands, they will be able to not have PTSD from all the yelling.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Get over here, son.
Oh wow.
Oh, and I used to be like, especially when Gia tell you, Kira too. I did it to her a couple times.
Oh geez.
Because I would respond out of fear, but my fear would sound like anger. As they fall and hurt, they say, "What you do that for? Get out!"
They like, I hurt myself.
I hurt
myself.
Why you fall off the bike?
Because I'm trying to learn how to ride it. How about that, Mom?
So I used to tell him, that's when Oprah was very popular back in the day.
Yeah.
I used to be like, I know one day y'all gonna be sitting on Oprah talking about me as a parent. Cause
The things that they could say.
oh my God, because my fear would come out in a yell. And I was like, that was so crazy. Looking back, I was like, that was so crazy.
Yeah. And I'm the opposite. Okay, I see what you're doing. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna see how long you gonna run this play and think it's working. And then I'll come up with some great punishments. Great punishment.
Well, it really wasn't punishment. It was just my
Yours
fear.
were. Mine were.
Yeah.
That's how, okay.
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah.
Don't lie. Don't, these were like
No,
the
that's-
cardinal got culture.
Yeah,
And you gonna lie to me in my face?
Yeah.
No, you don't know me. You must not know about me. Catch it every time.
Yeah. But yeah.
But it made them stronger. It made
Exactly.
Jessica stronger. She was ready for the military.
Exactly.
She was doing stuff the guys wouldn't do.
Exactly.
So it made them tough.
Made
which
them
is
tough.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So let's talk about the hidden weight of family secrets. Now we talked about like some of the lighter side of things that we would love to have, that we would love to not see go down our bloodline. Now those heavy ones are the family secrets.
Yeah.
Locked up. Those family secrets, they're so, it's just crazy. They're diabolical. They really are diabolical. And we hold them like they're treasure. We hold these secrets like it's a treasure.
It's what they are.
Exactly.
Trash.
It should be treated as such, but we hold it like it's our weight to hold.
Yeah,
It's our, especially if you've ever experienced, like for many people, and I know I am a victor. I'm no longer a victim, but I am a victor of one who had sexual abuse. Yeah. And I've shared my story several times. I've gone and spoken in different places. And it has been a blessing to be able to help other people, because every time I'm invited to go and speak on sexual trauma, and now because I'm so far removed from it, because everyone is not free enough to talk about that. Everybody is not free enough. I don't care. I'm 56,
It's still
and
tough.
it took a while to get there. So it's not even a timing thing. It's when you surrender it to God, and you can freely go and tell your story and be removed from it. But one of the things that I did recognize many, many years ago, I was when I first started kind of writing and dealing with this, I was like, why am I holding this secret as if it's mine to carry? Like, why am I holding? It's almost like I'm protecting the perpetrator. But we're taught to protect the perpetrator.
That's why you held it.
Yeah, you're
At
taught.
a young age.
You're taught to protect the perpetrator when it's not my secret; it's their secret.
And there's a certain level of fear comes upon you because you're like, if I say something, will this blow up this? Will this blow up this? Will this blow up this? So that's why you think you're the holder.
Yeah,
because they not only have they sexually abused you, but they have mentally manipulated you.
Exactly.
To their story.
Yes.
And they do it so young, you believe. Because we don't, our age.
Because you feel responsible for whatever's about to fall apart.
Yeah.
Whatever threat that they've given you. Correct. Now, as a child, you're carrying that heavy weight. That's right. To hold it, again, going back to holding everything together. That's it. I learned early on, conditioned early on, to hold everything together. Yeah. And so now, in order for my family not to fall apart or for my mom not to get hurt or whatever the threat was, then you learn you're the one that you're the glue and you got to keep this together.
Absolutely.
So now that's another thing. That's another thing that goes into that Samsonite suitcase. That's right. Because the Samsonite is a sturdy suitcase. It don't fall apart, and there's something else that can hold it, and you're carrying it around. But the day I released it, one of the days that I thought I released it, but it wasn't until God actually delivered me. At one moment, I looked at one of the perpetrators. And when they was about to touch me, and I just kind of looked in their face, and I think they knew then, like, this girl's done lost her mind for real. I just let that person know, if you touch me on this night, you will be holding your guts in your hand. There you go. By the time, he looked at, I didn't blink, I didn't budge.
Yeah, enough was enough.
Yeah, I was like, you will be holding your guts in your hand. Yeah. And it never touched me again in life. But I thought at that moment I was free. Until I met God, then I realized it only held me in bondage long. I was in prison, and I held him in prison. Right. So I had to go through that forgiveness, and so
that's a tough part, because you not only have to forgive other people that may have been involved with it or what have you. But here you are still supposed to pretend to be something that you're not for all these other people because of that one person.
Still showing up to family functions and everybody's
like
there.
Give them a hug on the side. Might be a side hug.
Hug so-and-so.
Oh, no.
Hug.
Right.
Speak to.
Right.
That's not happening.
Correct.
But that's part of that family secret thing.
Secret.
You have to pretend like all is well.
That's
keep
right.
going along.
It teaches you performance.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And you wonder why, even in churches, why those things can be happening, and we protect. God forbid if it's a pastor or a leader, God forbid, and we protect them. Yeah. One, we were like, everybody's sin. Well, it don't have to be on me.
Correct.
Or everybody falls short. Well, his falling short shouldn't hurt me, his or her, because we always look at the men. Yeah, but it's some women out. Too. It's some women out there too. It's just that most of the time, boys are not telling their stories.
That's all. They don't.
Boys,
it's a little harder for them, right?
And so it's not just the male, but with that, again, we're talking about those hidden family secrets where you're taught to kind of continue to go along, and they still show up to the gatherings. That you're as a child, you're forced to still hug that person, speak to that person like nothing has happened. So you're being trained and conditioned to carry a weight. But along that, also, when you was about to say something about forgiveness, I thought you were going to say was that's also a part of the blessing part.
Correct.
The generational blessing is getting yourself out, letting yourself out of prison, and also letting that person out. Yep. And know that it's not about that forgiveness is not for them.
It's for you.
It's for you. Forgiveness is, it's not that person is getting off the hook, but once you forgive, it sets you free.